Hey guys, Linda here. Welcome back to Adore. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday. Coming to you with a book haul. It's Book Haul Friday. So let's get started. I got quite a few books here. First, I'm going to start off with the books that I got from the library. I already showed you those, but I'm going to show them to you again. I think this was one of the books I got from the library. Joanna Shupe, The Bride Goes Rogue. Here it is right here. And here's the synopsis if you want to pause it and read it. At that's a historical. I got a book by Sarah McLean, Heartbreaker. This is in a series. This is the Hellbell series. I don't know which book it is, but I'll put it in the description below. If any of these books are in the series, I'll put it in the description below, and I'll put what book it is in the series, because sometimes I just don't know. And here's the synopsis of this one. This is also a historical by Sarah McLean, Heartbreaker. Allison Brennan, I don't think I've ever read anything by her. You'll Never Find Me. This is a contemporary murder mystery, probably a romantic suspense. Hope so. I hope it's a romantic suspense. There you go. Another historical, The Duke's All That by Christina Brighton. I don't think I ever read anything by Christina Brighton before, a historical. And there's the synopsis. And next I have Jane Ann Krantz. I've read quite a few books by Jane Ann Krantz and a lot of her pseudonyms. Stephanie Jane, Jane Castle. She got a lot of pseudonyms. I discovered her when she was writing for Candlelight Ecstasies. Them are some old books. I don't know what, maybe in the 80s. I started with Candlelight Ecstasy. I think she was writing as Jane Castle. I loved her books, and then I found out that she was writing as Jane Ann Krantz. So I have read some of her romantic suspense. I don't read a lot of her romantic suspense, but I saw this at the library. It's in excellent condition, so I picked it up. I'll give it a try. And all of these books, I think I mentioned in my last video, any books I bring into the house, I'm not going to put them on a shelf or anywhere. I'm just going to write all these up and put them in my TBR cup to pull and read. Because I don't want to put anything I put on my shelf, I want to already be read it. Either I like it and I'll put it on the shelf, or I won't like it. Either I'll give it away on here, or I'll just take them and give them to the Salvation Army. If I don't give them away on here, I probably end up giving away some books on here or take them to the Salvation Army. So those are all the ones I got from the library when I went to the library sale. Next, I have Private Paradise this is a historical, Harlequin historical by Lucy Elliott. There you go. And I think this is set in New York. Yeah, in New York. So I wanted to mention on here, guys, I read, I think I mentioned that I read Victoria Thompson's Gaslight Mystery. I mentioned how much I love that those books, till it got to making me think about, I started thinking on a scenario for a book. Guys, I've been doing some research. I don't know if this book will ever get written, if I can talk. How I'm going to write a book and I can't even talk. So I've been reading, I'm going to read I've been trying to read some books on New York, and the book that I'm thinking of, that I'm trying to do research on, like I said, I don't know if it'll ever get written because I'm not a writer, but I can do research. I like history. I love history. That's why I love reading historical romance. So I'm trying to do a romance set in 1890s New York. It's going to be a historical, because like I said, I read the Gaslight Mystery. It was like it's a murder mystery, but it had romance, but there was not a lot of romance. I liked the book. I enjoyed the book, but I wanted more from the two main characters. I wanted more romance, more intimate moment with the two main characters, but no, they was all about solving the murder, and you never did get to see them together unless they were talking about the murder. I was like, can we just have a little romance, a little romantic conversation? But no. So I was like, well, shoot, I'll write my own. Then I started thinking about, can I write my own book? But I'll tell you a little bit about that at the end of this video. But that's why I brought it up, because I bought this book because I'm trying to do research on 1890 New York. I don't know if this said in 1890, but I saw that it was in New York, so I picked it up. Harlequin Historical Private Paradise by Lucy Elliott. A Harlequin Historical. I'll fit it right there. I also got by Keelan Bossman. I saw this in I think I got this from Barnes and Nobles. I saw this in there, and I saw she had, I think she originally self-published this, and then she got picked up by Bloom, and they're going back and republishing this, so I went and picked it up. I saw this cover, so I picked it up. I liked it. Boss Man. And there's the synopsis. And did I show you the synopsis of this one? There you go. Next, I have Linda Howard. I have this book already. I really, really enjoyed it. I think I mentioned on here that Linda Howard is one of my favorite authors. I started reading her when she wrote for Silhouette Intimate Moments, or A Silhouette Desire. I think it was Silhouette Intimate Moments. I had all of her books from Silhouette. I love her writing. And then she mostly branched out into writing romantic suspense. So I have this book in hardback, but I saw it at the store, so I picked it up. I saw it at the used bookstore, so I picked it up in a softback. And here's the synopsis. I'm probably going to put this on my TBR for March. I'm not going to put this in the jar. I'm just going to reread. This will be a reread for me, open season. So I'm going to sit that over there because I'm going to reread this. Sorry, guys. I've been shaking this camera a lot. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if my table done got unstable or what's going on. Here's the next book, Shooting Star by Kobe Hodge. I saw this. The cover caught my attention. I also got this from a used bookstore. And there's the synopsis. And this is like a futuristic romance. And this is a contemporary romance. A romantic suspense. And there's the synopsis of that. And then I have I found a tapestry. This is number 84. You know, I've been collecting tapestries for the cover. This is Highland Tryst by Jean Canavan. Hope I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. But it didn't have, I also liked it for the back when they have the cover, the wraparound cover. But this one didn't have it. So I don't know if this was, maybe later on in the series they stopped doing the wraparound cover. Let me see when this was published. This was published in 1986. Tapestry. It says it original because you can tell by the down here. If you have a 1 in the book, I think that means that this is the actual original book publishing, the first book. So there you go, Highland Tryst. So maybe they quit putting the wraparound cover on it, but I love it when they have that wraparound cover on there. So there you go. It's a historical. I picked up Catherine Coulter, Nightfire. This is a historical. Catherine Coulter, she used to write historicals. I think she also do romantic suspense now. I think so. She don't do any more historicals. But if I see any of her original historicals, I pick them up. Let's see, does this have the 1 in it? Yep, it does down there at the bottom. And this was published in 1989. Oh, I guess she dedicated this book to Linda Howard. Oh, okay. And there's the synopsis on the back of there. And the synopsis of this one. I have another historical here. Fair is the Rose, I'm sorry. Megan McKinney. And they have a little step back in it. This is a Western. Here you go, if you can see it there. Are they in a stagecoach? She was a ravishing fugitive, falsely accused, trapped by a famous outlaw who promised passion, revenge, escape. Maybe they're on a train? Interesting. But I got this book from, I was looking on the Paperback Swap. I think I mentioned Paperback Swap on here. I'll leave a link below for Paperback Swap. I think I mentioned on here is where you can swap books. I think it's only They used to be free on there. You could just swap book. All you had to do is put some of your books on there, and if some people picked your book, you would get a credit, and you could use those credits to buy request books. But now I think it costs 49 cents to request a book. So now you have to, if you don't have any credits, or if you do have credit, I think even if you have credits now, it's 40-some cents. The credits are 40-some cent now, so you have to pay 40-some cent for books. But I picked this up. Like I said, I was on Paperback Swap doing trying to look for some books that were set in 1800s New York, and I saw some Megan McKinney, and I was like, let me get some of her books. And I think this one was set in America. I think this is a Western, a historical Western. So I picked this up when I was on there looking for some books for my research for my book. We got Megan McKinney here, The Fortune Hunter. Also, I saw I think I got 2 books by Megan McKinney. This is The Fortune Hunter. See, this one was set in New York. Lavinia, I'll probably be pronouncing some of these names, so bear with me. I think it said, Lavinia Murphy fled a brutal St. Louis orphanage with 4 younger siblings and learned a spiritualist way from the carnies and gypsies she met on the road to New York. Now, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I like when the female character is like she can tell the future, or she is a spiritualist. I like those kind of female characters. And then the male character don't believe her. He don't believe in that. But I hated that sometimes they turn the female, it just turned out that they are lying and they're not a spiritualist. But I like when they are they can tell people future, and the main hero don't believe them. But I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. But the main female character, she's going to be a spiritualist. And when it said it was set in New York, I don't know what year this is set in New York here. Let's look at the first chapter to see do it have a date on it. No, there's no date. But when I saw New York on there, I was like, okay, I'm getting this. So I'm trying to read anything on New York that's set back in the 1800s. Or any time in New York back in the day. And this is The Fortune Hunter by Megan McKinney. I got Kate Bateman here, This Earl of Mine. I think I got this from the bookstore, the used bookstore. And here's the synopsis. This is another historical. This was a historical, of course, and this was a historical. Hope I showed you showed you those synopses, held them long enough for you if you want to pause them and look at and read the back of them. This is The Princess and the Robe by Kate Bateman. I picked this up because these two, where the other one by Kate Bateman? I also like books on Bow Street Runners. You know, they weren't cops. I think they were like detectives, I think. Or I don't know if they worked for cops or before they became the police. You had Bow Street Runners. It was something like that. But I like reading about Bow Street Runners. So when I saw this, I got both of these from the used bookstore. When I saw Bow Street on here, yeah, there was no question. I just picked it up. I didn't even read the back of them. I was like, okay. But there's a synopsis on that. So I picked these up. They Bow Street Runners. This is historical. And this is The Princess and the Rogue, Bow Street Runner. I don't know what book these are in this series. Let's see, do they have them in an order in here? Maybe book 1 is To Catch an Earl, and book 2, The Earl of Mine. And maybe this is book 3, I guess. Let's see what's in here. They don't have nothing. Nope, she don't have nothing in here telling. No. But like I said, I'll put in the description below which book it is in the series. So I got these because both of these are dealing with Bow Street. It said Bow Street Bachelors. And I think they are actually Bow Street Runners. Yeah, it's the investigation on here. So I'm going to read this. This will give me some insight into my book, too, because my book is going to be like a murder mystery. Yeah. You know I like murder mysteries and stuff like that. So I had to pick both of these up. Both of these are historicals. What else I got over here? You've seen this already. I picked this up this month. Story of My Life. Enjoying This by Lucy Score. And there's the synopsis of that. And I also picked up this, like I said. And I didn't know Joanna Shupe had a YouTube channel. I think I was looking on YouTube for some stuff on New York or whatever. And I forgot how I think I found her channel because she was talking about the devil of downtown, and I think this is set in New York. And for some reason, her channel popped. I was like, I didn't know she had a channel, so I subscribed to her channel. I don't think she be on there all the time. She mostly be on Instagram, but I did subscribe to her channel on YouTube, and I saw that this book was set in New York in the time that my book is going to be set, and I had to go pick this up. So I think I got this already, but I couldn't find it. So I was looking through my books. That's why I was like, I'm not putting any of these books on my shelf, because if I do have the book, I don't know where it's at. It might be in a box somewhere. It might be on one of these bookshelves somewhere. And I call myself looking out all over the bookshelf, but I ain't pull all these books out. So I was like, I don't know where it's at, because I thought it might have been on the front of where the books that I put up, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, I had to go get it again because I want to read it right away. I'm not going to put it in my jar. I'm just going to set this over here because I want to read it as soon as possible. Because like I said, I'm doing research for my book, and I want to read on anything set back in the 1800s in New York City. And I also have Victoria Thompson. She got another series out, like I said, the reason for my story is because I read the Gaslight mystery and I needed some romance, and this book just popped into my head and it won't leave me alone. I'm not a writer, people. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if this book I want to write will ever get ready, but when I started thinking about this, so now, like I said, I'm trying to pick up everything set in New York City, and I came across. I know that Victoria Thompson. I was looking at some more books by Victoria Thompson. She used to do historical romances, but now she's doing these kind of like cozy mystery. I wouldn't call them cozy because some of her mystery stuff can get very explicit, and I was like, no, this is not a cozy romance. But I found out that she got another series, and this is the Counterfeit Lady series, and this is book number, because I need to get, I think I got the first 3 books: City of Lies, City of Secrets, City of Scoundrels. Did I get those from the library? It's been a while since I read those. I think I got those first 3 books from the library, and I read them, and I really enjoyed them. City of Lies, I don't know if I mentioned it on here or not, but I have read the City of Lies, the City of Secrets, and the City of Scoundrels. And so I went on Amazon, and I found these books in the regular, because I'm not going to buy the first 3 books, but anything after that, if they're already in like softback, because her books come out in hardcover first. So I think I've got 3 books. I think it's 3 other books after this that's in softcover, and all the rest are in hardback. So I won't be getting those. If I want to read them, I get them from the library and read those. But I picked this up, and this is dealing with I think the female character, she used to be her and her family were, what you call it? They would swindle people out of their money. I forgot what you would call them. Like they would swindle people out of their money, and she got in trouble in the first book. In the what the first book was called? Let's go back here. If I can get to it, where is it? City of Lies. That's when we first meet Elizabeth. I think her name is Elizabeth, and her and her brother is swindling somebody. But they get caught up in the guy they're swindling. He find out what's going on, and her brother ends up getting beat up, and they are chasing her, and she ends up running into a crowd of. This is when the female was trying to get the vote, so she run into a crowd of female protesting, about the vote and stuff. Suffragette. She's ends up joining that suffragette crowd to get away from these guys chasing her, and the suffragettes end up getting arrested and get put in jail. So it's gonna go from there because she meets two women while she's in jail with these women. But she's really not with the suffragettes. She's just trying to get away from these men chasing her. But she try to act like she's part of the suffragettes, and she meet these two women. And one of the women is going to be the mother of the man that she's going to end up with in the book. But it's mostly going to be about her changing her ways. Because when she meet, what is his name, Gideon, she's going to end up changing her ways. She is going to finally become part of the suffragettes. But she's still going to they're going to meet people along the way that if she figure out that they're getting treated wrong or anything, she use her skills as a schemer or whatever to help them out and stuff like that. That's how it's going to be. Her dad, her brother, they all get involved sometime and help them, help people out if they're in trouble or whatever. She's trying to help them out with her specific skills that she have. So I really enjoyed it. So I say I'll get the rest of the books. And also I think this is also set in New York also. So yeah, there's some more research I can be doing with reading these books right here. And so this is another historical. And I think that's all I have. And I'll tell you about my little story. Like I said, it's set in 1890s New York. I don't know if this will ever get published or not. Hopefully. But I don't know. I like doing research. I like history, so I don't mind doing the research for it, even if it won't get published. And I did give my character some name. It's going to be on an Italian family. It's going to be they're not going to be rich or anything. They're going to live in the tenements of New York. I wanted to be set in that grimy, gritty New York. And I wanted to be atmospheric. And I just want to learn all about the people who were in the tenements in New York and how they live and how all that stuff they had to go through. And I just want to start there, and then it's gonna have to be a series because they're gonna have to build from there how they slowly get out of the tenements, because I want something's gonna happen in their family. Because back in those days, if you read the Gaslight Mystery, you'll know that in that book, Victoria Thompson talk about how the police did not help the poor unless you had money. If you had money to pay them to invest, like if your sister or brother went missing and you had money to pay the police, then that's the only way you could get them to look at. And it wasn't a guarantee that they were going to look in it, because you wasn't one of the rich. You might have had money and they might rob you of that money because you're not anybody with any clout. You might have a little money to give them, but you don't have any clout, so it's not guaranteed that they're really going to have it. They can take your money and rip you off. So in this one, I want the last name of the Italian family is Pellegrini, and it's going to be the Pellegrini File, because they're going to end up, something going to happen in their family. They're going to end up solving their own situation, because the police, they're going to go to the police don't want to help them, so they're going to end up solving their own problem, especially the two main it's going to be one female character and her sister. The main female character and her sister going to end up trying to solve this. One of their family members is going to go missing, and they're going to end up trying to find out what happened to them, because the police don't want to help them. The brothers, the father, they're going to start out trying to find, but they have to work, because like I said, it's going to be set in the grimy New York, in the tenements, and you need money. So, the brother, the other family member are going to have to work. But the sisters, the main female character, she's a teacher. She's very smart. She, I want to say she has a photographic memory, but I don't know. I had to do research on all of this. But she's very smart. She's very observant. And I want her to be like a Sherlock Holmes kind of person. She's the middle child. She's very giving. She's always trying to help people. She's always trying to help other people. She's just like her mother. Her mother always trying to help any way they can. And she's just like her mother. And she's always trying to help people. And the family realized, her mom and dad realized how smart she was, and how, she easy to catch on. She always observing. She always knowing stuff. Because in those days, the kids had to work. Everybody had to work. Everybody in the whole family had to work. But they realized how smart she was, so they tried to make a way, and they tried to, because her dad, I don't want to get into all of it, but they ended up letting her go to school. They let the three younger kids end up going to school. And it's all because of Isabella. My main character, her name is Isabella Pellegrini. She ends up, they end up letting her go to school because she's very smart and stuff, and they noticed that. So Isabella and her sister going to end up trying to find out what happened to this family member, and then that's how they're going to meet the main male character. His name is, what is his name? I wrote his name down. His name is Jarvis Zachariah Kane. I love that name. And that's how they're going to be Zachariah. He's like a jack of all trade. He is, what they call it, a morally gray character. Yeah, he's very morally gray. Because, yeah, he done went through some stuff. Because he came up, he coming from the southern states. His mother had ended up getting killed. He came up from the southern state with his dad. He's white, and he has a brother, but his brother is African American. But he's really not his brother. His dad brought both of them up from the South because of what happened. Because Jarvis' father was friend with Isaiah, and him and Isaiah grew up together. His dad, Jarvis' dad, brought both of them from the South because Jarvis' dad and Isaac's dad, they both worked at the same plantation. So when the war ended, but Jarvis' dad, he just worked there, and he became friend with Isaac's father, who was a slave on the plantation. But when the war started, supposedly all the slaves got free, so supposedly. And so they were friends. They end up, Jarvis' father ended up taking him, leaving there, and Isaac's father and mother, they left with him, and they ended up sharecropping on a farm in the South. And something's going to happen there, and it's going to end up just being Jarvis' father. He's going to be the only one left, and they're going to end up, and something's going to happen on that farm, and he's going to end up, then him and the two boys survive, and everybody else going to, I got to figure out how it's going to work out, but nobody's going to survive except for Jarvis' father and Jarvis and Isaac, and he's going to bring both of them. They're going to, we got to get out of the South. So he's going to end up bringing them to New York City, where stuff is going to get rough for them in New York City. So I don't know if it's going to I don't know if I want to let Jarvis' father stay alive, or he ends up getting messed up in New York. I don't know how it's going to go, but I wanted Jarvis and Isaac to be real, 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 real close, even though they're from different cultures and race, even though they're from different races. But Jarvis' father asked Isaac did he want to take their last name, because he raising both of them as his son, even though Isaac is an African American. He's raising both of them as his son. He asked Isaac, do he want his last name? And he ends up being Isaac. What name did I give him? Isaac Jasper Kane. So we got these two. And as they grow up, and that's why I said I don't know if I want them to be without their dad. Something happened to Jarvis' father, and they're going to end up on the streets, and let's just say they come up, it's kill to be killed. It's just them two, and Jarvis don't nobody mess with Isaac, because Jarvis ain't having it. Because he saw all this stuff happen in the South, and he know how they treated the African American people, and he don't have none. He don't go for none of that when they come to Isaac, because they like this, and they've been brought up as brothers. Look, I'm getting emotional about that whole situation, but I want to. I've been doing research on the story. I have posted on if you follow me on Instagram, I have a collage on there with some of the characters that are going to be in the story on there. You can go check it out. I also will put a little collage here and show you my little collage of Jasper and Isaac and Isabella and her sister. What is Isabella? I forgot what Isabella's sister name is. I forgot. I didn't bring my paper up here. What I've been writing all the characters' name down on. I just been working on it. I just been doing some research. Yeah, I like I say, I'm not a writer, but this story has been on my mind for, it wouldn't let me go. It wouldn't let me rest. I go to sleep, I wake up thinking about this story. So I just started writing down stuff. I haven't written down no scenes or anything because, like I say, I'm not a writer. I'm not, as you can tell here, I'm not a conversationalist because I don't do a lot of talking. And that's what I love in books. I love the conversation. I love the conversation between the characters. And that's just not me. Now, if you can talk about some research, I can go do some research and stuff. So, like I say, I've been doing a lot of research. And I'll show y'all my little aesthetic or my little collage of what my characters might look like. They might look like this. And I will put a picture of that up. And like I said, it's called the Pellegrini File because Isabella is a journal person. She write down everything. And that's why I want this to end up being like her family ends up starting. Oh, I never did get to the point of that. Of her and her sister trying to find out who, where their family member went missing and where that. And there's also going to be a murder. And they're going to try to solve the murder and find their missing family member. And from there, eventually it's going to end up where they're going to end up opening their own investigation place. So that's how it's going to end up. And that's how it probably be a series of them actually solving. Because like I said, they're going to be between the police. If the police don't want to help you, you can come to us and we will help you try to solve. If a family member go missing in the tenements or in the bad part of New York, you can go to the Pellegrinis and they will help you try to find out. It's going to eventually get there, but I don't know how it's going to get there for them to end up helping people in the tenements solving mysteries and murders or whatever of people when the police there's no help. So you can end up going to the Pellegrinis for that. I don't know how we're going to get there, but that's how I want it to go. I want them to end up to slowly start their own. But people don't have money to pay, but they give what they can to them for them to help them. And it's got to go from there. Some kind of way I'll fix it. Some kind of way I try to figure out how it's going to go from there. That's why it's called the Pellegrini File, because Isabella, she loves journaling, and she's going to end up writing down all these crimes or missing person or anything. She's going to write it down in her journey, and they're going to end up being in a file. That's why I call it the Pellegrini File. That's what I was trying to get to. I went all the way around there to try to get there. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. I can go on and on, talk about my little story here. But that's all I have for now. I hope you like all the books. Have you read any of these books that I have? Let me know what you thought about them. And then I will, if you leave it down below, if you read any of these, I won't put it in a jar. Just put it over here with my other books that I'm trying to read for March. But that's all I have for now. Until next time, keep reading those romances, and I'll see you all later. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.